So yesterday we came up with that this was the exponent, and this, I'm just going to call it a root today. We had other names for it as well, but we're just going to go with a root. We're going to take this and we're going to rewrite it. And do you remember yesterday how I was taking we had, I'm going to write it off to the side. Say we had the cube root of x to the 7th, and we took the x to the 7th, and what did we do? We took 7 and divided by 3. So we actually took the exponent and divided it by the root. So when you go to write this, this is actually still our exponent is on top, and we're going to divide by the root. So I've already kind of set you up to understand fractional exponents by doing it that way. So when we look at the top here, we're just going to rewrite them. So inside, I have 64a to the 6th, and all of this is going to be raised to, well, it's going to be 1/6. The reason it's a 1 is because this stuff on the inside is not being raised. 64a to the 6th as a whole is being raised to 1 since nothing is there. If we were to go the other way, 7 to the 3/2, well, that is 7 cubed, and then it's a square root because the 2 is on the bottom. The other one, once again, this would be the exponent. So 125 x to the 18th is being raised to 1, but it is a cube root. And then we have a 24x to the 8th y to the 9th raised to the 2/3. So 24x to the 8th y to the 9th is being squared, and it has a cube root. In most cases, I prefer to work with the right side for simplifying. I find to have it in exponential form is by far easier than that radical that does absolutely nothing for me. So the first one, though, we're going to do what we've been doing. When we look at this, I've got a 6th root, which means I'm looking for something that repeats itself 6 times. So 64. Is there something that goes into 64 6 times? It totally is. It's actually 2 to the 6th. And then, of course, we have a to the 6th. So if there's 6 2's and I'm taking the 6th root, then doesn't the 2 come out? And if there's 6 a's and I'm taking the 6th root, then the a comes out. Okay, so before I'm going to go ahead and rewrite it. This would be 64a to the 6th to the 6th root. That would be us rewriting it. But before I go into this, I need to remind you of a few exponent rules because it's been a while. If you have 2 squared, what does that equal? Okay. If you have the square root of 4, what does that equal? Okay. If you have 4 and, no. Yeah. I do want that. Let me think here. If you got 4 to the 1/2, isn't that the same thing as the square root of 4? So look, because 4 is 2 squared. So we have 2 squared to the 1/2. Do you remember what you do when you have a power to a power? That would be, you add them when you have like a squared times a cubed. That would be a to the 5th. You multiply them. So what's 2 times a half? 2 to the 1? So power to a power, you multiply them. And so you'll find out they're going to cancel out a lot of the time. So when we look at this first one right here, we actually have 2 to the 6th, a to the 6th, and it's all being raised to the 1/6. So I'm going to rewrite it. Normally I wouldn't rewrite this like this but I want you to make sure you understand what's happening. So what's 6 times 1/6? So 2. What's 6 times 1/6? So A. Okay, let's try the next one. This time we're going to go from fractional first. We got 125x to the 18th, all raised to the 1/3. 125, let's get that down to some prime numbers.
Or 5 times 5.
Times
5.
So 5 cubed. So we have 5 cubed x to the 18th, all raised to the 1/3. So I have 5 cubed raised to the 1/3. What does that equal? Because 3 times a third is 1. Then I have x to the 18th raised to 1/3. So x to the 6th. Because 18 times 1/3 is 6. Are we okay with that? Okay, now let's go do it the other way. So to rewrite it, I would do cube root 125x to the 18th. This could be where, however you write it out, it could be 5 times 5 times 5, and then I've already taught you about dividing for the variables. So I got a group of 3, which means a 5 comes out. And then here for my x to the 18th, that would mean 18 divided by 3, which equals, so none go inside, all 6 come out. We okay with that? Either way, you're getting to the same answer. What you're going to find is you're going to get to where you like one better than the other. More complicated is definitely I like the fractional one. And the way I've shown you to do the other one, you actually do half of it with fractions anyway. When you take that 18 and divide it by 3, isn't that the same thing as 18 to the 1/3? So, okay, so here we go. 24. Let's get that down to some primes, keeping in mind that we're looking for groups of 3. Does 2 go in there? How many times? 12 times.
Oh.
How many times does 2 go into 24? That's 16.
It can't be 2.
There's a 2 in there. How many 2's are in there? I just want the prime factors. No, that's 16. Does 16 go into 24? Okay, then it can't be 16. Go back one. 3. Does 8 go into 24? There we go. So we got 2 cubed times what? 8 times what gives me 24? 3. Those are all primes, right? And then we have x to the 8th, y to the 9th, and it's all raised to the 2/3. Okay, so we're going to go about this one by one. Let's look at 2/3, 2 to the 3rd, 2 cubed, can't think, 2 cubed raised to the 2/3. So what is 3 times 2/3? Those cancel, and we're left with 2. So we have 2 squared. Is everybody with me on that? I'm going to write it just in case. We got 2 cubed, and it's being raised to the 2/3. The 3's cancel, and you're just left with 2 squared. Okay. Then we got 3 raised to the 2/3. There's nothing. There was a 1 there. 1 times 2/3 is 2/3. Okay. Then we got x to the 8 raised to the 2/3. So x to the 8 raised to the 2/3. Can you do any reducing or anything there? So it's just going to be what? 16 over 3. And then we got y to the 9th raised to the 2/3. We got any canceling out there? Reducing? Yeah, but I want to know about the reducing first. The 3 will go into the 9 3 times, right? Leaving us with 3 times 2. So we got y to the 6th. Now check out this answer. You've got some that are already done. Do you see some of those exponents are not fractions? If there's no fraction, that means it's not, nothing's going to go back into the radical. So 2 squared is what? 4. Now look at 3 to the 2/3. Does 3 go into 2? No. So that means that whole thing is going inside. So I got a cube root. There's the 3 on the bottom. Left is 3 to the 2nd power. What's that going to be? In other words, 2 3s have to go inside, right? So what's 2 3s? 3 times 3? 9. Okay, now look at the x's. 3 goes into 16. Remainder 1. And then we got y to the 6th. So these definitely get easier whenever you have something like that going on, instead of it just being a 1. Okay, so now let's go over here and let's rewrite it. So now I have the cube root of 24x to the 8th, y to the 9th, and it's all being squared. So if we're going to do this, we would do 24 times 24. That's squaring it, right? X to the 8th, x to the 8th, y to the 9th, y to the 9th. So then you got to think about your 24, correct? Now we've already done it on the other side, so we know that it's 8 times 2 times 8 times 2. Wouldn't this just be x to the 16th? This would be y to the 18th. So for this 8, we know a 2 comes out. For this 8, we know a 2 comes out. That one, that's supposed to be a 3, isn't it? This is a 3, my bad. Erase. So this 3 and this 3 stays inside. That's where our 9 came from. So let's see. We have the cube root of, whoops. Undo. We have 4. We have the cube root of 9. And then our x to the 16th. 16 divided by 3. Remainder. And then 18 divided by 3. So either way, you should get to the same place. The more you work with the run on the right, you'll get more and more familiar with it, more comfortable. And it's definitely between the two, typically the easier one, especially the bigger the expression gets. Small expression, you can probably wipe it out, with the combination of the two, I think. We okay with that? Questions for me?